The labour market is very tight at the moment, and companies around the country, when I talk to them, tell me this. This is the number one story. Talk about difficulties of recruitment. Secondly, there are, I have to say, signs of the inflationary pressures, which of course are difficult. Inflation at just over 5% is difficult. What we've been looking very closely at is how persistent it's likely to be, and there are signs now of more persistent price pressures, and that is a concern to us. In the short run, i.e., the next sort of 2, 3, 4 months, we're thinking it can get to around 6. Now, let me explain why. I mean, one big reason why is that we're seeing further upward pressure on wholesale gas prices. So having seen them come up, they went up a lot, obviously, post-August. Having seen them come off a bit, they're now going back up again. I think this is directly related to some of the tensions we're seeing on the border between Russia and Ukraine, where a lot of Europe's gas supply comes through. And of course, that will feed through, I'm afraid, when the next price cap is set for all of us as domestic customers. That will feed through to the next price cap. Because we've seen evidence of a very tight labour market, and we're seeing more persistent inflation pressures now, and that's what we have to act on. We're concerned about inflation in the medium term, and we're seeing things now that can threaten that. So that's why we have to act. Now, we've thought a lot about, obviously we've thought a lot about Omicron. It's a very important development. We don't know, of course, a lot about Omicron at the moment. But I would say this, it certainly, I think, can have quite an effect on activity in the economy. We're already seeing it in some of the what we call the faster indicators: mobility, footfall in retail outlets, restaurant bookings, and so on. It's not, however, clear whether it will cause inflation pressure to come down or even go up, and that's, I'm afraid, a very important factor for us. Well, we have to take the action that we think will do the job to address and tackle the inflationary pressure, particularly in the medium term. We just have to do that, I'm afraid.